Alright, so it is pretty damn cold out there today. No doubt about it. So I just got this EconoHome by Intertech 400 watt wall panel heater. And I'm going to see if I can get this thing installed. Hopefully it goes easy. Hopefully it works. We'll see. Alright, so it comes with a heat shield, hardware, a special plug, and some paperwork. I'm going to read through it and tell you what it says. Okay, I'm just going to go over the manual very quickly with you here. So, it's engineered for safety and longevity. It resists humidity. You don't have to use that heat shield, but it improves the heating. So you can use it for a long time. So it has an even radiant temperature, safe to the touch, safe for pets. But it does get pretty hot, 185 degrees, so you don't want to leave your hand there very long because it'd be uncomfortable. You can paint it, but it's not recommended, and if you do, it has to be water-based paint. You want to keep flammable things away, like gasoline, etc. They're safe, you can leave them on a long time, but they obviously don't want people with dementia or children running the thing. There should be an adult keeping their eye on it. But it is safe to leave plugged in for long term. You must mount it on the wall. The biggest safety concerns is the cord. They say not to cover the cord with carpeting. Keep the unit dry because there's a risk of electric shock when wet. So they're saying don't go in a hot tub and then plug it in and throw this thing in there with you. Alright, so it reaches 185 Fahrenheit. They say you should unplug it if you're not going to use it for a long period of time. Do not operate it if the plug is damaged. Do not leave it outdoors where it can get wet. It's not really meant for bathrooms or areas like such as laundry room where there's a lot of water. But I think it'd be fine in a bathroom as long as it wasn't near, the sink or the tub. Don't drill into it, that'll destroy it. They say don't mount it blocking a power cord outlet. Don't use an extension cord, try to plug it in direct. You cannot repair it. Everything's internal. And don't cover the heater with things that are flammable, and try not to put anything in front of it that's flammable. They recommend at least 2 inches clearance between furniture. That's the gist of it. Now, let me tell you about how it works. I don't know how well you can see this, but I'm going to try to hold it steady. There's a temperature knob that just tells you the temperature that you want to set it at. It has a on-off switch. It has a heat-cool indicator light. When you have it set in the heat position, the LED light will turn green when it's heating. It'll turn red when it's not heating. The temperature control range is between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 5 Celsius to 30 Celsius. Alright, so I'm just going to show you a couple close-up. Alright, so there's the plug. On-off switches on the side here. This is something no one will tell you. There's a little trap door on the plug here. Right here. And inside there is where the hot-cold switch is. So I don't know how I'm going to get... almost need the magnifying glass to get in there. But this door opens and closes, see? Oh, good thing I told you that, right? So make sure it's on hot or cold, whatever you want. Okay, so that's your dial there. Set it to whatever temperature you want. On off here. And as I said, the back is here. There's a little hidden compartment here. That's where your hot cold switch is inside of there. It's really, I can't show you on camera, it's so tiny, but you can turn that switch if you had, almost need like a sewing needle to turn that switch left and right. But it's on hot already, so I'm going to stick with that, because where I'm at, it's like, I think it's going to be 8 degrees today. So this should work, I hope. So the 4 holes in the corner, what you do is you pre-drill in your wall you put your wall anchors in, and for those of you that don't do this all the time, that's your wall anchors. So you pre-drill, put these in the hole for drywall, or these kind as well, these four. These are caps that cover this part, and this is the part you're gonna screw into the wall. What you do is, I have wood walls, so I can just screw mine straight in, but if you didn't have wood walls, you just pre-drill a hole there, put the wall anchor in, and then you screw it in. Basically what you got is, you got a screw here that just goes in the wall, and if you didn't have wooden walls like me, you would pre-drill a hole and insert the wall anchor in first, and then you would screw it into the wall anchor. Also, it's kind of understood, but there's a hole there in there's 4 holes there in the heater. So you would mark those 4 holes, like wherever you want to mount it, and then you just put these, and then you just slide the heater over top. I'm going to do the other 3 off camera. Alright, so anyways, I'm going to see if the heat shield fits in there. I hope so. It's optional, like we said earlier, but makes it more efficient. Alright, so the heat shield is done. It's really like a piece of aluminum foil with glue on it. More like duct tape, but of like an aluminum foil quality. Not real thick. It just peeled off like a sticker, but it does fit right in there. So it's better to put the heat shield on second, in my opinion, so you know where to put it. Alright, so now I'm just going to put the heater back on, then we'll screw the white caps on. Okay, so I got it mounted and I turned the power on. It's working already. This is what I want to show you. The white cap screws on. So you just screw the cap on, and that's what holds it in place. Do all 4. Just screw all 4 on. As I said, I turned it on already. Let me show you the power switch. So the red switch, as you can see, lit up. That means it's on. But then you also want to double check your plug. Let me show you the plug. So right there, the green light means that it's on. And if you look carefully, you can switch it on and off right here with that. So that's power off, power on. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this, like I said, it's 8 degrees outside. I'm gonna let you know how it does. Temperature in here right now, I have it at 60 because I had a space heater, but I'm gonna turn the space heater off, and since it's 8 degrees outside, I'll be able to tell you tomorrow if it held up or not. Alright, well, let's find out. Okay, I let it run all night. Got a helper. Yeah, I got a helper. Did you come to help? Taco Bell, did you come to help? I forgot to mention to you, the room is 120 square feet, roughly. That's just my music room. It went down to 0 degrees last night, and as you can see here, it maintained 50 degrees. Now this room does not hold any heat at all. It's just meant for me playing my drums. So it actually, by itself, was able to keep it 50 degrees higher than the temperature outside. So you can't use it, you really should not use it as a standalone. It's more of a complementary heater. Alright, so my overall opinion is it's not bad. You just have to be willing to use it as a complementary heater, and it is nice that it uses less power. It uses 1/3 less power, and it's a lot safer than a regular space heater. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Not thrilled. I wish I could have kept it at 70 degrees in here, but that's pretty good. Okay, so if you have any questions, just let me know. As always, thanks for watching.